Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiment. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The Danae Exregau are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
Can you tell me anything about Dr. Asili?
Asili is a man of remarkable knowledge. One of our most brilliant sages.
You already told me that, Your Excellency.
He is one of those rare men who master alchemy, mathematics, and naturalism with equal assiduity. Anatomy has no secrets for him, and medicine is his passion. Do you realize that it was he who perfected the inoculation technique?
Inoculation? What is that?
A novel treatment that allows us to fabricate immunity to sickness, such as the pox. If any man can find a remedy for the Malachor, it would be him.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Buran told me to pay you a visit.
Oh. It is you who arrested Dr. Asili and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I could convince some of the doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshad. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Teleme.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you. Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the Doctor's trial.
The Doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial. Hello. I see that you're back to work.
Indeed. We were not bothered thanks to you. And here I can make myself useful. But I don't think you're here to ask about me. What can I do for you?
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Unerd to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
Yes. I kept silent for far too long about what was going on in that lab. I know what we did was wrong, and I do not want it to happen again.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness. Doctor...
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Thank you. I must leave you.
Dr. On...
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
What interest do you have in defending Dr. Asili? You've obviously taken his place since his arrest. I understand that you admired him a lot, but under his tutelage you could not really impose your own ideas. Well, now you finally have a chance to leave your own mark on history.
You are not wrong, but I find it rather unlikely that he will be sentenced.
I have gathered a lot of damning evidence against him. And with your testimony...
I could finally publish my research on fountain contamination. Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy.
You are the Onol Menawe who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
A Nort victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
The islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
I managed to convince the scientists in the governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently, it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the Malachor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Sir Desade. The evidence he supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. He was a renowned doctor back in Al-Sad. His unusual methods saved many lives, and I was very proud to be amongst his students. He taught me a lot. He was a great teacher. He was strict and severe, but he always pushed us to do our best. It's only when I joined him on the island that I understood that there was something wrong. He seemed changed and completely obsessed with the Malachor. You know it killed his wife and 2 children. He was so shaken by that, he no longer showed any restraint in his research. Such a waste. For the natives he massacred as well as for science.
I must leave you. Sir de Corsilion.
De Sade, my young student, what can I do for you?
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Oh, this is remarkable work. You explored the entire surface of the island. Well, almost. Congratulations. Thanks to you, our merchants and explorers will be able to reach the heart of this island safely. The prince will surely be very grateful for this. I know I am. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I found some notes which were lost by Professor Serafedin. His expedition was far from easy.
Investigating such gigantic creatures is bound to be perilous.
Indeed. Unfortunately, we also found his corpse. I'm sorry.
Oh, poor man. His devotion to science cost him his life. I will make sure I share the works you have brought me with his family. This research is fascinating. It must have taken a formidable amount of courage to pursue it. But some sheets are missing. Keep an eye out for them, would you? Maybe you can find them. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Corsilion. Constantine.
My dear cousin, I'm always happy to see you. What news do you bring?
We managed to solve the problem of the attacks on San Mateus.
Really? So, what was causing them?
The city and its outposts were continuously being attacked by animals. These beasts were led by a large creature that strangely resembled a mountain guardian.
This is the same creature which High King Vinbar turned into, isn't it?
Exactly. Except it looked sick and it didn't act like the High King did. It was calling the animals around it, and it seemed like it was transferring its disease to them before making them attack. I have never seen anything like it. And there's more. Hikmet was in a similar situation. Do you remember?
Of course. Don't tell me that a Guardian was involved there as well.
Yes. The governor was convinced that the attacks were led by the islanders. And yet they were being attacked as well. And it was by their side that I fought the creature. That time it was a Nardai Glenderman, a beach guardian. But it seemed just as sick. And it was also manipulating the animals to make them aggressive.
So, it would be some kind of epidemic affecting the Guardians. I don't see what we can do about it. Actually, I think you've already done what had to be done, by eliminating those that were threatening our neighbors.
Perhaps. But I'm certain there's more to it than a simple epidemic. These beasts attack in a coordinated fashion, which requires an intelligence that they don't have.
You're exaggerating, dear cousin. The attacks you thought were coordinated may just have been coincidental.
You may be right. But I can't help thinking that someone is behind all this.
Do you really believe that a Denegad would want to take over the island? Cousin, you know how much I respect you, but frankly, this doesn't seem very coherent. But I see it's already quite late. If you'll excuse me, dear cousin. Regrettably, I must leave you.
Where are you going?
Not very far, rest assured. But I have a small personal matter to take care of, you see. Don't be concerned. There's absolutely no risk. Use the opportunity to take some rest. You've really performed miracles recently. See you later.
But why would he leave like that? Guard, do you know where my cousin is going?
Sorry, Your Excellency. His Highness didn't tell me anything.
You are one of his bodyguards, aren't you?
I am, Your Excellency. But recently it has been difficult to force His Highness to accept our presence.
Recently? You mean this isn't the first time he's left without an escort?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency.
You better tell me everything.
But Fine. I don't mean to be disrespectful towards him, but His Highness's behavior is...
Informed?
Well, His Highness had specifically ordered us not to tell you about it.
And where does he go? I thought the days when he used to go from tavern to tavern were over.
He doesn't go to taverns, Your Excellency. From what I know, he goes outside the city.
Where could he go outside the city?
I've no idea. We saw him going north. That's all I know.
Listen, I understand this matter is putting you in a difficult situation. You were supposed to protect my cousin wherever he went, but he refused and ordered you to keep your mouth shut. But Constantine is not just my governor. He's my cousin. I'm worried about him. He's already been abducted once when leaving the city. So, if you know anything else...
I don't really know where he's going, Your Excellency. But I think I know where you could find out. When he doesn't leave the palace, he stays in his office for hours. He writes so much down in there that he could fill entire books. Here, I have the key. Take it. I hope you find His Highness and manage to make him see reason.
I don't like this at all. What could he be doing outside every night?
Ever since he became Onol Manawi, he has become even stranger than he was before.
I'm starting to believe that the revelations of Enon Mil Frictamen had some truth to them. Let's rummage through his papers. We may find a clue.
Cousin has descended into madness. But we can't let him kill these people simply because he's afraid they might have seen him.
May the trees on your road always bear fruit.
Thanks. You saved us.
these beasts would have torn us to shreds.
These animals were strange, as if they were enraged. Thanks again, Renaigse.
I'm glad I could help you. And perhaps you can do me a favor in return. I'm looking for a young man, a Renaigse, but he looks a bit like an Onol Manawi.
Someone like you?
In some ways. But his marks are different, darker.
He's talking about the crazy Donegad.
Indeed, that might be him. Do you know where to find him?
No, we see him passing by around nightfall, but we don't know where he's going.
He walks along the path, often followed by some beasts.
He has a sinister look in his eyes. He scares me, so we stay hidden.
And you do well to hide. I think he's the one who sent these animals to attack you. Do you have any idea how I could figure out where he's going?
He could hide in the old house. He would see him passing by and could follow, couldn't he?
You're right. If you take this path to the right, you'll reach an abandoned house. You can hide there. And from up there, you will be able to see the path perfectly.
Thank you. You've been a great help. And stay hidden. You may still be in danger.
Be prudent, Onol Manawi.
I'll leave you alone.
Qua awalem seg.
We can't be seen from the path. Let's wait here to see where Constantine goes.
Look, he's coming.
He opened the passage for himself here. Let's follow him, quick.
Constantine, what are you doing?
Cousin! You're here! I would have preferred that you learn all of this another way. To be able to reveal everything to you in better circumstances. But whatever power we earn, there are some things that escape us.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but what are you doing here?
I seem monstrous to you. I am well aware of that. But I promise to explain everything when the moment is right. Then you will understand. You will see. The temptation is so great to share all with you right now. You have done so much for me. You have given me so much. I haven't forgotten, believe me. But I still have more to do. Forgive me and have patience. Hold them back. But do not kill him for anything in the world.
Constantine, come back and explain yourself.
This Narwhal is abhorrent. After suffering, he will let him go.
It's the only explanation.
Flesh of my earth, help me. You saw him do it, didn't you? You saw him draw from me, steal my children, my guardians, pervert my force.
Yes, but I don't understand.
What he wants, eternity, strength, power. It is what they all want. Those who take without looking beyond themselves. Like all those from the faraway lands.
He wasn't like that. He couldn't care less about all that.
Then it is the sickness, the brevity of his existence that terrified him to the point it changed who he is. You must stop him. Each time that he bonds, he destroys me a little more. And with me, the hope for a cure. And now it's my heart, my most sacred sanctuary that he covets. You must kill him.
It is madness.
The consequence of his folly, yes. Believe me, there is no other solution. Stop him, flesh of my earth, or there will be nothing left to save.
I still can't believe this.
I understand what you feel. I have trouble believing it myself, but Enon Milfrichtaman never lies. We need to stop your cousin by any means possible.
We must learn more if we want to understand his plans and prepare against them. This hiding place he was talking about in his notes. We must find it.
Your cousin's insane, but he's not an idiot. He must have warned his personal guard about us.
You're right. We'll need to be careful.
Being careful will not be enough. We'll need an army.
It's true that at the rate he's gathering his creatures, we'll need allies. The natives will likely help us, and the Admiral may listen too. We should also be able to count on Sieglinde. Her troops will be all the more welcome. And of course, we can also go and find the Mother Cardinal, as well as Governor Buren. What an absurd project. On the continent, they would brand us crazy, but not here. On an island where everything is possible, and all folly is accepted. Let us go. We need to put an end to all of this.
What do you seek?
I have come to ask for your help in stopping my cousin.
The one Finbar abducted. Why do you want to stop him now?
He was afflicted by a terrible disease. Katasak bonded him to the island to cure him, but the power he received from it made him go insane. Do you remember the attacks of creatures led by a strange guardian?
Of course. I was even told that you fought one of them with Darren. I would have loved to be there.
He was sent by my cousin. He managed to bond himself to other places, and he transformed their guardian each time.
The Donegada never bind themselves more than once. They say it would be very bad for Tir Fradi.
I'm afraid they may be right. Now he wants to target the sanctuary of Dorhad Genadu.
So, he is the one Enon Milfrichtemen was talking about when he warned me of danger.
Without a doubt. And to stop him, I need allies. I intend to suggest this alliance to other factions, but I need the support of your people. I know that you don't like the Renaigse, and that you do not trust them, but we are all threatened. We have no choice but to act as one.
I do not like your proposition, and you know it. But you are our Karants, and we cannot refuse to answer the call of Enon Milfrichtemen. I will assemble my best warriors, and we will go defend the sanctuary with you. In the meantime, take this weapon. It has always served me well, and I hope it will help you in this fight.
Thank you, Deirdre.
We will prevail or we will die. May the volcano give you its fury, Karants. Anything more?
I need to be going.
Gwawalem seg.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I have come to solicit your help and to propose we forge an alliance.
An alliance? Against whom?
You remember, no doubt, the attacks that fell upon Hikmet, but also San Mateus, and against the natives.
Of course. You told me that different Guardians sent the beasts.
Precisely. And the Guardians were manipulated by someone. I discovered who it was.
This revelation will not please you, but I have no choice but to tell you. It is Constantine.
Surely you jest. What is the meaning of this? Do you know how many men have died during these attacks?
Allow me to continue, I beg you. My cousin's sickness shook him to the core. Then, there was a ritual and his capture. And Constantine has fallen into madness. He has been increasing these rituals in order to link himself to the island, to gain power and manipulate its creatures. He is fighting a war against everyone, and it now appears he wants to take control of Tirfridi. He is preparing to attack the volcano sanctuary, and I need help to stop him. It is in the name of the congregation that I come to see you. Constantine betrayed us as well.
That's madness. It is complete madness. All of this superstitious nonsense. These absurd theories. I believed you sincere, de Sardet. Which does not mean that I believe you now. But no matter. You are in need of men to stop your cousin who has already attacked us?
Precisely. I have already gathered support, but I need as many allies as possible.
Let us be clear. I don't believe for an instant that this story has a link to the island or whatever foolishness, but I do trust you. You have rendered us valuable services and have supported us. And since we cannot allow the crimes of your cousin to go unpunished, we will stand beside you.
Thank you, Excellency, thank you. You have improved our chances of success tenfold. I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Your Eminence, I salute you.
Sir de Sardet, what can I do for you?
Do you remember I thought that someone must have been responsible for the attacks you sustained?
Yes, you thought that this guardian who sent us the animals couldn't have been acting alone.
And I was right, sadly.
You're hesitating. Are you afraid of my reaction?
Indeed. As the person responsible is none other than my cousin, Constantine.
Does this mean that the congregation has decided to wage war on us? And thanks to which obscure alliance has your cousin been able to manipulate these creatures?
Constantine acted alone, and he betrayed us as much as he betrayed you, believe me. As for the way he manipulated these creatures,
Do you remember that my cousin was sick?
Absolutely. And it is said that his recovery was the result of a rather suspicious miracle. Are you telling me that your cousin has made a pact with the demons of this island?
Something like that. He was cured by a Denegad of the island who performed a bonding ritual. But the power he received from this made him thirsty for more, and he bonded himself to other places, thus gaining control over the Guardians who were protecting these sacred places.
But why attack us? Did his madness make him forget about our alliance?
His thirst for power is making him want to control the island entirely by himself. And I know that for this purpose he will soon attack the natives' main sanctuary on the volcano. I won't stand a chance against all the creatures he's taken control of. And I need some help. Others have already joined me. But we also need the support of Thélème. Having a common enemy should help us forget all the differences that have been opposing us.
The idea that we would protect the sanctuary from an insular demon is completely insane. But you have helped us several times, and I trust your judgment. You can count on our help. My men will fight by your side.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Thanks to your wisdom, we have a chance to prevail. I must leave you.
Naturally, Your Excellency.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
I have come to ask for your help, Admiral. My cousin has been plunged into madness, and he apparently wishes to conquer the whole island. He took control of many creatures by reenacting rituals he learned from the islanders. And now he uses them to attack the cities and the villages of those he considers to be his rivals.
A difficult situation, admittedly, but one that does not concern us. Who's in charge of the island is none of our business, Desarde, and you know that.
It actually does concern you. If my cousin takes control of the island, soon there will be no ports where your ships can berth. He's not looking for political influence. He desires power. Absolute power.
I see. It's a decent argument. So what now?
We must stop him at all costs. And for that, I will need allies. I already have the support of other factions, but I was hoping I could count on the help of the Nauts.
You can. My men aren't really used to fighting on land, but they will be by your side. You have proven time and time again that we can trust you.
Thank you, Admiral.
May the winds be in your favor, Desarde. You'll need all the help you can get.
sir, good people. Liqueur and wine from the continent.
Oh, it's you, Norman, are we?
For a day.
Come and see.
Ah, Your Excellency, I'm glad to see you. It seems there has been an unexpected development. The manager of the tavern came to find me. He complained of supply problems on the island, and a customs sergeant who is seizing his shipments from the continent. Clearly, neither we nor the palace gave any such orders.
You suspect that these seizures are being used to supply the contraband?
It's the only logical answer.
And you wonder if Egon is involved? Very well. I will find out. No, thank you.
What can I pour for you?
Manfred, the quartermaster of the barracks, told me about your supply problems.
And he sends you? Damn. I didn't think a legate would act in person, but it's nice to see that our problems are taken seriously. I'll explain. Alcohol has been scarce in New Serene for quite some time. Our suppliers in the town are constantly victims of theft, to the point that they're no longer able to supply taverns. I could have managed if my monthly delivery from the continent had arrived as planned, but customs seized my goods.
Did they give you a reason?
Conservative seizure, they said. Time to check that everything is in order. And now they tell me that they can't return my goods because they've been stolen. Can you believe it? If even customs are getting robbed, what hope do we have?
Huh. This is all rather suspicious. Don't worry. I'll go and see these customs officers and get this cleared up.
Your Excellency, it is an honor.
Customs Officer Alric. What can I do for you?
Desarde, I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. I've been told of some issues with customs. I would like some clarification.
I'm listening, Your Excellency.
I was told that a shipment from the continent bound for the tavern had been seized as a precautionary measure.
Yes, it's possible. We seize cargo sometimes, to verify that all taxes to the town have been paid.
Randomly, without a prior formal order?
No, I don't know. Perhaps we received a complaint. That happens sometimes.
I suppose all entries are noted in your records.
Naturally, but I assure you that we only do our job. It was all routine.
I was informed that customs was robbed.
Yes, these thieves have quite the nerve. Someone even stole personal belongings this time. Since then, I've put all important things in the chest, but I lost the key. Probably on my way here.
Let me summarize. You have confiscated some goods, perhaps because of a report, but you're not sure. Then that same cargo was stolen from you, along with other things in your custody.
Exactly, Your Excellency.
You are either the worst customs officer I've met or the biggest liar.
Listen, Your Excellency, I made a mistake. It's true, I should not have ordered this seizure. In fact, it was late, and counting the crates would have taken me hours. I decided to postpone it. In the meantime, the goods were stolen. It's unfortunate, but I'm not useless.
You haven't even informed the authorities of this robbery. This is all rather suspicious, Officer Auric. So I think it's necessary to conduct this inspection with a search.
Please, Your Excellency,
I'm sure the contents of this chest would be very informative. Maybe we should go to the docks to see if we could find the key that this scatterbrain has lost.
Hello, Your Excellency. Sadly, I cannot stay and chat with you. I am expected elsewhere.
So, were you satisfied with your inspection, sire?
Look at this.
You work for Egon? Have you come to ensure my loyalty? Well, you can tell him that I didn't say anything, right?
In fact, you just did. So you are a member of this gang?
No, you don't understand. But I am trapped. And it's been like this for months. I am forced to pull off all kinds of tricks in order to settle an old debt.
Egon?
Yes, sir. Either I do what he says, or I lose my children. I've already paid off my debt 100-fold, but he maintains his hold over me. And now I have no choice but to obey when he asks me to divert larger shares of cargo.
Could you help me identify him?
I'd like to, but I've never met him. He gives me his instructions in writing, or sends his men. He wrote the letter you found, or at least I think he did.
I plan to put an end to this individual's activities, so anything you can tell me will be useful.
I hope you manage it, Your Excellency. For the sake of my children, maybe you could come to the meeting he's arranged tonight.
Do you think he will come in person?
I don't know. This is the first time I've received a notice like this. I fear he'll punish me for arousing the innkeeper's suspicions. He doesn't let anything get past him, you know.
Very well, I will come. If only to avoid you paying the price for your stupidity.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'll meet you at the North Gate in the evening.
No offense to our new friend. I'm not sure this Egon will come in person. I'd be surprised if he'd bother moving just to lecture a small fry in his business.
Ah, there you are. Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
We have a meeting next to the quarry. As we are early, we should be the first to arrive.
Perfect. I'll hide until they get here.
He will certainly not come alone. I beg you, don't wait to intervene if things go wrong.
Be confident. I won't abandon you.
You should get in position. He'll be here soon.
My friend! I'm so glad to see you. Because you owe us some explanations, don't you?
Sir, let me explain. I wanted to do well. I was just a little rushed and...
Silence, fool! Not only have you been so clumsy with your handling that the quartermaster was informed, but in addition, you dared to plot with this legate. A noble that has already cost us dearly. Do you no longer love your children, Alric? You want us to get rid of them? Is that it?
No, Mr. Egon, I beg you. Don't hurt them. I didn't have a choice. The legate came for an inspection, but I didn't tell him anything. I swear.
It's a shame, Alric. Egon loved you, but would replace you with someone else soon enough. Someone smarter. Get rid of him. I don't want to hear from this little roach any longer. As for me, I'm leaving for Hikmet. Try to be discreet. This legate doesn't seem willing to let go.
This man is waiting for us to intervene, and we promised him we would.
If we're going to help him, we will probably lose track of our man.
I beg you! I swear I didn't betray you! I owe you my life, Your Excellency.
Don't mention it. Alas, all this was useless. This man was not Egon.
I'm not sure that it's a person, Your Excellency. It may be the name given to the leaders of the gang. I don't know. But I will never be at peace until you arrest them, that's for sure.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But how can I find this man now?
He said he was going back to Hikmet, which is where he sends the stolen alcohol. I'm sorry. I have not been completely honest with you. I could have told you that earlier, but I knew that without your protection, I would not survive. The deliveries are sent to a dispensary outside the town. No doubt to avoid arousing suspicion.
A dispensary? But what are they doing with all this alcohol?
I'm not sure, Your Excellency. But you'll no doubt find out if you go there.
Well, at least the fright Egon gave Auric managed to loosen his tongue.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions.
closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the back garden.
These islanders are drunk.
On your way. There's nothing for a highness here. As for you, savage, if you're looking for something to drink, go to my colleague over there.
What? How dare you?
I see. Thanks for the advice.
This is the man we saw at the quarry. We must stop him. Surrender. You are under arrest.
What am I accused of?
You are a high-ranking member of a criminal organization that has named itself Egon. And you did not hesitate to order a murder. So, even though the attempt failed, the gallows await you. Unless you decide to reveal everything you know.
I won't say a word. I won't give you anyone. I'd rather die.
If you really thought so, we would not be talking. You will be taken to New Serene. Manfred will know how to make you talk.
Bertir to mud. Do you want to see the...
You will always be welcome here. Oh, it's you on Olmenawi! Come and see me, or you'll receive
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
Was the captain we arrested transferred to you?
Yes. And we began to question him. It appears that he was paid by Governor Buren. The governor tasked him with weakening the natives as much as possible in order to muzzle the rebellion. They were trying to poison the natives with alcohol, but they needed a lot to do it. Their entire smuggling operation revolved around that.
Did you contact the governor?
Yes. He sent us a letter apologizing, saying he didn't know he was dealing with criminals. His letter was accompanied by a letter of marque to compensate the merchants who suffered in this case.
Which doesn't mean that he will abandon these despicable methods. Is there any news on Egon? We're no longer certain it's even a person.
Even though that name might refer to the organization, someone must be leading it. And that's who we have to stop. Alas, for now, the captain doesn't want to tell us any more. So the interrogation continues. We're waiting for answers on that point. I need your help in another case.
I'm listening.
The Admiral sent us a furiously worded letter. One of their ships was commandeered by our troops. They accused the San Mateus garrison. But I know Herbert is quartermaster. He's an honest man. I'm not saying that the Admiral is lying to us, but I don't understand what could have happened. Whatever the case may be, the Admiral is threatening to refuse all transportation to our men. This will not only hurt the Guard, but also all the nations that employ us. We need someone diplomatic, able to piece this whole story together. Can I count on you?
Yes. I will go see Admiral Cabral and try to understand what happened.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
Manfred, the quartermaster of New Serene Garrison, told me that he'd received a letter from you. Was one of your ships hijacked by the Guard?
The Trident and its crew were commandeered by the San Mateus Garrison. Commandeered? We will not let ourselves be threatened by these land pirates. The Guard has no idea who it is dealing with. I've already sent several of our warships to board the Trident and release its crew. The Guards taken on board shall be given no quarter.
I understand, Admiral. But Quartermaster Manfred was as surprised as you to hear this news. That's why he asked me to investigate. The Guard never gave the order for such an operation.
So these mercenaries do not even know how to manage their men? Remarkable. We will not deal with the Guard until Manfred cleans up his ranks. No more of these hireling thugs will set foot on my ships. The nobles will just have to do without their bodyguards.
I will tell them, Admiral. And know that I am fully aware of the problems that caused this act of piracy. Not only for the Guard, but for all the nations on this island. I will do everything to find those responsible.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will eagerly await your news. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral. The Admiral knows that we can't do anything without the force of the Guard. By prohibiting them from transport, she is putting everyone at risk, leaving us to take care of the problem.
And what can I do for you?
Quartermaster Manfred sent me.
I was expecting such a visit. And I'm glad Manfred sent an external investigator. This commandeering business may just spell the end of the Guard. Without the Nord's transport, we are finished. I don't understand what could have happened. I can assure you that we have never issued an order to that effect. It's as if some members of the Guard obey others' commands.
We had trouble with a criminal organization within the Guard. I wouldn't be surprised if they were behind this matter once again.
Oh, this is terrible news, Your Excellency. How can we sort the good apples from the bad?
By speaking to those in charge of those in command of this town, and trying to unravel the truth from the lies.
Since you neutralized Major Herman and his gang, 3 lieutenants have been leading the troops, while waiting for a new senior officer to be appointed. They are Lieutenants Alexander, Klaus, and Ermelind.
Do you think they're honorable?
I won't vouch for them, if that's what you're asking. I don't know them well enough.
Thank you, Quartermaster. I'll go and find them. Hello, Lieutenant. My name is Desarde.
Oh, you are the legate of the congregation. You're quite the celebrity amongst our ranks. I am Lieutenant Alexander. Did you need me?
I'm conducting an investigation into the illegal commandeering of the ship, the Trident.
We must work fast and find out who organized this act of piracy. Or, we will all pay the price. Do you know the men who seized the ship and who they served under?
All I can tell you, Your Excellency, is that I'm sure they were not under my orders. As foolish as it sounds, we don't know the identity of the soldiers involved. Since our previous commander's coup attempt, there's been tremendous upheaval. We lack senior officers. The registers are not up to date, and many men are on the run. I suspect the supporters of the coup who escaped the trial may be responsible.
It's not impossible. I dealt with Major Herman, who was serving Commander Torsten, but I didn't take care of his men.
It's only an idea, of course, but one that seems most logical to me.
I'll leave you, Lieutenant. Hello. I am...
Desade, legate of the merchant congregation, right? Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. Lieutenant Ermelind, at your service.
Well, I didn't know I was so famous. Can you tell me anything about the ship that was commandeered by the guards?
A complete act of piracy, if you want my opinion.
Do you know who these guards were and under which officer they served?
No, and no soldier is missing here as far as I know. This is very strange. But since the commander's attempted coup, everything has gone to hell here. Men start muttering as soon as we have our backs turned. Some recruits have suffered violence, but refuse to name their attackers.
Do you think something is going on?
It seems obvious to me that some people took advantage of this unrest to line their own pockets.
I see. Thank you. I'll leave you to it. Farewell, Lieutenant.
Your Excellency, if you really want to know what's going on in this barracks, find me tonight near the church.
To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Quiet. No one must know that I spoke to you. I am Sergeant Franz, and I'm prepared to help you. Don't forget the church tonight.
Hello, Lieutenant. Desade, legate of the merchant congregation.
Lieutenant Klaus. What can I do for you, Your Excellency?
I'm investigating the illegal commandeering of a Naut ship that took place here in San Mateus. Do you happen to know the men responsible and the officer they served under?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I don't know. I only took office in this city 2 weeks ago. I'm just getting to know my troops. I was sent here to remedy the lack of officers following the arrest of the commander's men. Are you sure that this commandeering is not the isolated act of a few homesick recruits?
Not totally sure, but it's very unlikely. Managing the crew of a Naut ship requires great numbers and organization.
I see. Well, in that case, sorry for not being more useful.
Farewell, Lieutenant. The Lieutenant's interrogation produced nothing. This sergeant is our only lead.
Let's get rid of this.
wasn't sure you'd come. That will be understandable. It's better to be wary with Egon.
What do you know about this organization?
More than I would like. I'm part of it. Now ask me any questions you want. We don't have much time.
If you're part of this organization, why did you want to talk to me?
I joined this gang some time ago, without realizing the extent of their power. I naively thought that it would only be a matter of completing a few small secret protection missions. But I found myself involved in a sordid business with the young islanders. We capture them to sell them as slaves. They're very popular in brothels. I participated for a long time, without batting an eye. But I ended up bonding with one of the captured islanders. And the horror of this trafficking has finally hit home. I don't want it to happen to her.
Who took possession of the ship? And for what purpose?
Soldiers from the garrisons, members of Egon's organization. The boat was supposed to be used to transport the island captives to the mainland. Someone must have had enough of only being able to move a few slaves at a time, hidden in the holds. Now they've pulled this big stunt. They've not only attracted the wrath of the Nauts, but also your attention. Egon would never have made such a mistake, and he'll make the fool who did suffer dearly.
Do you know who Egon is? Or at least who runs this organization?
No. Everything is very compartmentalized. Each group knows only its direct superior, never the one above. Not only do I not know the big boss, but I don't know anything about his other activities.
And who gives you your orders?
Lieutenant Ermelin. That woman is ruthless. After the business with the ship, she decided to make a clean sweep, probably to avoid the wrath of Egon. She told us that we had to get rid of the islanders we still held captive. She wants to clean up behind us to avoid leaving any trace. My friend is among them. If I can't find a way to stop Ermelind, she will die.
If we want to prevent this massacre, we will have to intervene quickly. Where are the islanders held captive?
They're kept in a former logging facility on the outskirts of town.
Is it well guarded?
No. Numbers are small to avoid arousing suspicion. But when Ermelin comes with her troops to get rid of the young people, it'll be a very different story.
Well, we'll take control of the operation before that happens, by getting rid of the guards. When Ermelind and her soldiers come, we will use the element of surprise to neutralize them.
With all due respect, there will be many. Are you sure you'll be able to face them?
We could ask for help from one of the native clans. The Storm Warriors, for example.
Do you think they would?
If it only involved us, I doubt it. But it's about saving their own young people. They'll also be able to give them shelter when we free them.
We will need to act quickly. I fear Ermelin will take action any moment now.
I'll go get help in Vedlug as soon as possible and take care of the operation.
Thank you. I'll arrange to be appointed as the scout for Ermelin's squad. That way I can let you know when we arrive.
We should go to Vedlug.
Let me accompany you. Deirdre is always suspicious. I could help you convince her.
What do you seek?
I have come to ask for your help, Deirdre. A group of guards captured young natives and turned them into slaves. But now they want to get rid of them to avoid drawing attention to themselves. I want to free them and stop these guards. but we will need support from warriors.
You are our Garants. We will help you. But you have to tell me more precisely what this is about.
The prisoners are in a former logging facility near San Mateus.
I know where it is. The Renaiks massacred the forest there.
We will get rid of the guards there and release the prisoners. But if any soldiers are sent to kill them thereafter, can we rely on you to intervene?
I will send you my 2 best warriors. I can't give you any more right now. They will find you where the forest has suffered. Anything more?
I need to be going.
Gwawalem Seg. What do you seek?
I need to...
Gwawalem Seg.
Here is the logging facility. The prisoners must be in that cabin.
No one passes.
I will pass without your permission. You're free.
Thank you. May the trees always bear fruits on your journey.
It was Sergeant France who told us where to find you.
France? So he kept his word. I had hoped he would.
Stay hidden here for now. We will set a trap for the people who captured you.
Then we will fight by your side. They will pay for what they have done to us.
No, you're in no condition to fight. It's better that you stay here. When we are done with them, you can return home. Thank you for coming to lend us a hand. I'm surprised. Deirdre said that she would only send 2 warriors.
It's not a Sengedin Anadas. It's a Gaius Rad, a warrior from my clan.
But Dirtuma Donegad, she told Eseld your story, and we wanted to come. Young people from our clan have been captured, and we believe they are here. When Xavier also sent a warrior for the same reason.
We are most grateful for your help. Thanks to you, we can stop those who captured them.
You're there. Were you able to get rid of the guards?
Yes, and we have released the prisoners. But there are still others that we have to defeat.
I see you've managed to bring allies. With them, we have every chance of winning. Ermelind and her troops shouldn't be long. You should take position.
Anything to report, Sergeant France?
Negative, Lieutenant. Everything is quiet.
Where did the guards go?
I don't know.
How can you not know? Hey, what's going on?
Come. Come, Remaitse. You will pay for
We got them.
Make sure Lieutenant Ermelind is shackled and brought back to San Mateus. She will probably be sent to New Serene to be interrogated by Manfred. She has a lot to teach us about Egon.
I hope she can help you put an end to all of this.
Can we all go home now?
Yes. We will escort you.
Breg, it's thanks to you that I realized what we were doing. I hope you'll forgive me one day for being one of those monsters. In the meantime, I will do everything I can to help stop this smuggling for good.
You are a better man than you think. Friends, when you're finished, return and see me at Xavier. I will be glad to see you again.
We should go. Let's report to Quartermaster Herbert.
Your Excellency, I was told you'd returned with prisoners.
Yes. Lieutenant Ermelind organized the slave trade on behalf of the organization I told you about. Her men captured natives who were then sold here or smuggled to the mainland. We also found out that they commandeered a Naut ship to speed things up.
What madness. I guess Manfred will want to have her questioned. Lieutenant Alexander, you will accompany her with some men.
Quartermaster, at your orders.
And you, Sergeant. I understand that you participated in the despicable actions of this traitor.
It's true, Quartermaster.
I recommend clemency. Without his help, we would not have discovered what this was about.
I see. You will accompany Lieutenant Alexander. Manfred would like to talk to you, but I will make sure that he knows what role you played in this case.
Thank you, Quartermaster.
Well, I'll let you get on, sirs.
Thank you very much for your help, Your Excellency. Travel safe.
Well, things seem to be in order here now. We should go and warn Manfred.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
I was able to clarify the story about the ship, and we arrested the person in charge.
I've already been told all this. Lieutenant Alexander came before you did. He told me the whole thing, and he didn't fail to tell me everything we owe you. I have already sent a letter to the Admiral explaining what happened and offering reparations. I hope she will forgive us. Anyway, I thank you very much. Once again, you have worked wonders, Your Excellency.
We couldn't have done anything without Sergeant Frantz. He showed admirable courage. I imagine he's joined your forces.
That doesn't ring a bell. I don't think a sergeant by that name is stationed here.
Strange. It seemed to me that Quartermaster Herbert told him to come and find you.
Well, perhaps he changed his mind. With this business going on, he must be sorely lacking in men. Anyway, know that our investigation has finally paid off. Lieutenant Alexander arrested many criminals with information obtained from prisoners. You should go find him. He's with Captain Ulrich.
Captain Ulrich?
The highest-ranking captain in the garrison. He's an old man who was not often found in the field, but faced with such a scandal, he had to intervene personally.
Thank you, Manfred. I'll go find them. This arrest is good news. Let's find the captain.
Your Excellency. I was talking about your exploits to Captain Ulrich.
Your Excellency?
Captain, Lieutenant.
Quartermaster Manfred informed me that you had made several arrests.
Indeed. Lieutenant Ermelind confessed, which enabled us to flush out most of the gang.
I can't quite believe that all the arrested men are involved in this case. I know many of them, and could have sworn they were honorable people.
I'm sorry, Captain. I understand. It's a shock. We were all sure that our comrades would never be involved in this kind of thing.
Will you continue the investigation?
Of course. We can't stop our research until we've completely dismantled this organization.
Lieutenant Alexander was asking me to transfer him to New Serene, to be a part of the investigation there.
To manage it, if you allow it, my captain. I was honored to participate in the interrogations of Lieutenant Ermelind, and to be able to arrest all these criminals. I would not want to leave things half-finished.
As I told you, Lieutenant, I can't approve the transfer of an officer from another garrison. I must refer to the commander.
In any case, we're most grateful for your help. But we can now bring this investigation to an end without you.
I see. What goes on in the Guard is the Guard's own business.
It's a bit like that, yes. We can't let the actions of a small group compromise the reputation of the whole Guard.
You forget, once again, that you have not yet obtained your transfer, Lieutenant. In the meantime, please be dismissed.
At your orders, Captain. Goodbye, Your Excellency.
I'm sorry you had to hear this call to order. This lieutenant is inclined to forget who he's speaking to.
It must be the enthusiasm of youth.
It's possible. In any case, and contrary to what he said, we will still need your help.
Why's that?
Lieutenant Alexander claims that Ermelin's confession allowed him to arrest all these men. But I attended one of these interrogations, and all she talked about was a secret camp. The one in which Torsten's recruits received their special instruction for the coup d'etat. If I understood correctly, this place was taken back and used by the criminal organization. But our lieutenant did not mention it, which surprised me, and led me to doubt his sincerity. Perhaps Alexander failed to report it to increase his prestige later.
But he could have another motive. So you would like us to go there?
Indeed. And I'd like to accompany you. I am no longer a field officer, but I still know how to hold my own. And I want to see this case with my own eyes. You know the place, so you will be my guide.
Very well, Captain. You can count on me.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will get going right away. Will you come with me?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's hurry.
We're almost there.
How would you like to proceed, Captain?
By the book. We'll go through the whole camp, neutralizing any threat.
It's blocked. It's blocked. Sergeant Franz. Poor man. He paid dearly for the help he gave us.
He was beaten to death.
Quartermaster Herbert ordered him to accompany Lieutenant Alexander to answer Manfred's questions, but he never made it to New Serene.
I was sure that the lieutenant was not genuine. He must be involved.
It looks like poison.
It's a deadly combination. It can cause death in an instant.
This document talks about eliminating the witnesses to the case. These letters are signed by Egon. We must go to the office of the leader of these criminals.